I'm Wolf from Healing Wolf Coaching, here to walk with you through the jungles of recovery and into a transformation of your being. Let's breathe together. Let's do a physiological sigh. So inhale through the nose, then another little sip of air, then exhale through the mouth. Sigh it out, squeeze all the air out. And then continue to breathe with the exhale longer than the inhale to relax your system. Why is a recovery journey from something like anxiety or chronic pain also a spiritual journey, a journey of transformation? Or why can't it be? It's very unlikely that you're going to have a journey where you're dealing with something in unconscious mind and dealing with something on a deeper level, on a root level, underneath your conscious awareness most of the time, and not have it be a journey where you become more aware of your spirit, more aware of the inner workings of your mind and of your soul. So as you move forward on your recovery journey, there are lots of possible options. And all of those options, from meditation to journaling to working with a coach to shift unconscious mind using rapid resolution therapy, the kind of practice I do, or using acceptance and commitment therapy, there are all sorts of things you can do. And all of them lead you back to a basic principle. And that principle is that when you change from within, you change whatever's happening without actively changing what's happening without. So what do I mean by that? I mean that if you change from the inside, the outside no longer can manipulate you, can no longer push your buttons, so to speak, can no longer have you on its puppet strings. For example, if you used to get stressed over writing particular emails, whatever those emails were about, then you come into a state of awareness of that stress. Then you can actually feel that stress, which is kind of a somatic work. It is somatic work. And by feeling that stress, you're no longer in a reactive mode. Your unconscious mind doesn't see that stress as an additional threat, and it doesn't keep running the same loop cycle, which amplifies into a chronic condition. So you're transforming the outer world by transforming the inner world. So on my own journey, I've gotten a philosophy around that very thing. So basically understanding that if there's something that I really am upset about in the external world that I can not do anything about, that it's my work to go within and find a way from reactivity to gratitude, or reactivity to acceptance or allowing. So getting from a place of reactivity to a place of, sometimes it's a simple understanding, but other times it's really about saying, well, I see that thing, I know it exists, I know that something's happening that I used to react to, that I'm not happy about it being that way, and yet I can be happy, I can be at peace, even though the world is not at peace, even though there are a lot of frightening, terrifying things happening far from me at the moment. Or even in my own space, there might be stressors that are coming in. The transformation happens when you look within and say, I can transform myself. And by transforming myself, I mean transforming unconscious mind to respond in different ways to the things that are happening in your world. So on a chronic pain journey, for example, pain ramps up with the fuel of fear. So the fear of the pain itself, the fear of something in childhood, the fear of a life situation. There are a lot of reasons why that can amplify. And as that amplifies, the fear of the sensation itself amplifies the sensation. So you get this loop, and eventually it becomes chronic, can be all the time, can be really intense, can be the worst pain that is possible to experience. And that's, at one point of the journey, that was really incomprehensible. How can I be feeling the worst pain that could possibly be created by a human brain? Because the brain creates the pain if I am not being eaten by a crocodile, right? So it doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense until you realize that there's a loop cycle there. So a spiritual journey, this recovery journey is spiritual. You transform. You transform the workings of unconscious mind. And something spiritual means you lift your spirit. That's a basic definition of spiritual. Something that you do to lift your spirit. So if you do something to lift other people's spirits, that's also spiritual. So spirituality can be very simple. It can be just laughing. And your spirit is lifted. And you're spiritual then. You can meditate. You can shift your ways of thinking. You can journal. There's so many ways to have a spiritual journey here and to transform inner mind to work in a way more beneficial manner than we show up. We show up in these bodies with hypersensitive nervous systems honed by evolution, millions of years of reactivity that only the most reactive ones survived. And so here we are, we're born with these reactive nervous systems. And I would say especially men, we have a lot more, it seems like, and maybe this is a societal thing, but men have a lot more capacity to fly into a rage, to do things that are violent. You have wars, you have fist fights, you have all this kind of thing. Women also have that sensitive nervous system in a different way. So on our spiritual journey, we're transforming that reactivity into responsiveness. And that's the magic of this journey. So lean into it, feeling really good and feeling really amazing that as you go through your recovery journey, it's not just about turning off sensations, it's about transforming your way of being. And as you transform your way of being, your spirit will naturally lift. You'll feel a lot lighter in whatever it is you're doing. Even when you're doing something very, very challenging, very hard, stressful, you'll feel lighter. You'll feel like you're walking around with a sense of space. And I could go into it more, but I think you're already getting a sense of what I'm saying. And if you're here and you've watched my other videos and subscribed to my channel and know what I'm all about, I'm about that transformation. When I work with clients, I make that transformation happen in session. Clients also bring their energy, we combine our energy, we make these transformations happen, and it's a spiritual transformation. And some say at the end of their recovery journey that it's the most valuable journey they've ever had. And they would, even though it was super painful and challenging in a lot of different ways, that they wouldn't go back. That the person they are now, that the transformed being that they are now was worth every pain, every step, every panic, every anxiety, every sleepless night, whatever it was. All those things are worth it to be transformed, to go from the caterpillar to the butterfly. So if you need help with this process of transformation, reach out to me at healingwolfcoaching.com or join me over on Facebook at The Healing Den. It's a support group that I'm building to bring like-minded individuals together on a journey of transformation. Thanks for listening.